Now on Nightside, almost a dozen people have knocked on one man's door, accusing him of stealing their devices after their Find My iPhone app pings his address in Texas. But he says he hasn't stolen anything.
And we are tracking clear conditions tonight and sunny skies for your Wednesday, but rain is returning to the region. We'll take a closer look coming up.
A historic day in America is wrapping up as former President Donald Trump is indicted with 34 counts of fraud. Now he's back in Florida, where he spoke to supporters at his Mar-a-Lago estate. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. Following a history-making appearance in state Supreme Court in Manhattan today, former President Donald Trump is back in Florida, where he delivered a speech to hundreds of supporters at his Mar-a-Lago estate. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Aaron Luna.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. The 45th president pleading not guilty to each of the counts and telling the crowd there were no surprises in the indictment. ABC's Melissa Adon has the latest from West Palm Beach near Mar-a-Lago.
An unprecedented day in American history has concluded as former President Donald Trump, who is once again seeking to become commander-in-chief, currently has a new title, criminal defendant. Inside Mar-a-Lago, Trump addressing the arraignment in New York State Supreme Court.
I never thought anything like this could happen in America. Never thought it could happen.
The former president pleading not guilty to 34 state felony charges that he repeatedly and fraudulently falsified New York business records to conceal criminal conduct that hid damaging information from the voting public during the 2016 presidential election. Trump reacting to those charges.
The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it.
He traveled back to Florida immediately after his court appearance, greeted by some supporters on his return. Prosecutors allege Trump orchestrated a criminal scheme with his former lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen and his friend, former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker, to pay hush money to at least 3 people, including porn actress Stormy Daniels.
A catch and kill scheme. That is a scheme to buy and suppress negative information to help Mr. Trump's chance of winning the election.
The former president's lawyers insisting this is a political persecution.
While everyone is not above the law, no one's below it either. And if this man's name was not Donald J. Trump, there is no scenario we'd all be here today. Please understand that based on these charges.
The next court date is set for December 4th, with the trial expected to begin in January, meaning that will go through the election year. Melissa Adon, ABC News, West Palm Beach.
Well, looking at the forecast, it looks like we have more wet weather on the way.
And Emily Bloom is looking ahead at our Easter forecast as well during this hour. Or half hour. Wow. I just
hope we're not here for an hour.
Yeah, the newscast. Sorry about that, Emily.
No problem. We are looking at the possibility of a very nice Easter a few days out. For right now, though, we've got nice conditions through Coeur d'Alene and Spokane. These live cams showing us quiet conditions out there at this time of night. All of the activity that we were dealing with early on, satellite and radar, is showing that that has completely dissipated and moved out, and we are left under clear skies tonight. Those clear skies going to allow our temperatures to fall pretty low. We are at 43 this afternoon, below the seasonal average of 54 for this time of year. We're going to get closer to where we should be, though, here over the next couple of days. Temps right now across the region, kind of all over the board, anywhere from about 25 degrees all the way up to 38 for those of you in the Tri-Cities area. Zooming it in and bringing it a little bit closer to home, most of us in those lower 30s, 26 for Spirit Lake, and temperature is going to be falling even further as we head into the early morning hours on your Wednesday. By 8 a.m., we are back up to 31 degrees from being in the upper 20s in the overnight hours. And you can see plenty of sunshine ahead for your Wednesday. No kind of impactful weather for us to be worried about either. We're up to 44 by 12 p.m., getting into the upper 40s by tomorrow afternoon. That is going to be warmer than where we were today. So the 4 things that we needed to know is the afternoon showers tonight have cleared out. Nothing else for us to be worried about. Clearing and cold in the overnight hours. We're going to be warming up this week, and then we're going to have temps in the 60s for Easter. Now, we do have a return of the rain coming back into the forecast. We'll take a closer look at that and let you know exactly what to expect coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Emily. A 3rd East Valley High School student is now in custody for threatening classmates who belong to the LGBTQ community last Thursday. The reason he wasn't arrested last week was because he was out of the area. The threats were made in a Snapchat group chat with depictions of firearms, causing the district to cancel school on Friday. All 3 students now face felony charges.
In a special report, our Derek Dice hit the streets of downtown Spokane with SPD to see what they say is the #1 cause of crime.
In one morning out with Spokane police officers, we witnessed a pretty shocking amount of drug-related issues, and while most people were civil, one was not.
Pedestrian interference.
I was sitting down.
The officers try to help them get off the streets.
Hey guys, we need to get you guys into a shelter.
Or get into drug rehab. But when they're hooked on fentanyl like this woman, they often find resistance.
I smoke like 30 pills a day.
You smoke 30 pills a day?
And that's not uncommon.
I heard one guy went through 52 a day. That's about $125, $150 that they get just from begging on the corner.
One of those people is Josh Catlin, who we found carrying a glass pipe.
Is it Mexi's?
You know what I want? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Catlin claims to be a former Marine who went down the wrong path. He says fentanyl is a huge problem in Spokane.
it's an epidemic, honestly. It's a sideways epidemic, you know?
Officer Neal agrees, saying fentanyl addiction is the #1 cause of crime downtown because addicts will do anything to get money to buy the next pill.
Everybody here is using fentanyl. Everybody here is addicted to fentanyl. Everybody here's main drive and purpose is to get the next pill.
Right now, officers can't actually arrest people for doing drugs, but the city has proposed an ordinance to make it illegal to do drugs in public spaces.
That would make a huge difference for us because as you see, we see people smoking. You've seen quite a few from just today in the few minutes that you've been with us. It's a very common occurrence, and these people are using 30 to 40 pills a day. So they're smoking something every half hour to 45 minutes.
In the meantime, the officer's best weapon is to build trust and try to convince people to take advantage of resources to get them off of drugs and off the streets.
That was just part of our special report by Derek Dice. You can see the full report right now. It's on KXLY.com.
Fascinating to see him take one morning and see all of that in just a short period of time.
Yeah, it's wild. The aftermath of sexual assault can leave survivors with lasting consequences. Researchers say they find elevated levels of post-traumatic stress and alcohol misuse in survivors.
But the University of Washington School of Medicine is testing a new app to help survivors practice coping skills. 41 women who were recent survivors of sexual assault participated in the clinical trial. The women started using the Thrive app within 10 weeks of their assault, an app that teaches coping skills to help promote healing. So they used it daily for 3 weeks. And researchers found the Thrive app did lower PTSD and reduced alcohol misuse 3 months later compared to people who used the scaled down comparison app.
It helps them with their recovery process. So they saw the effects of the skills that they were learning and practicing on their day-to-day life, on their symptoms, and on their process of moving forward from what had happened.
Researcher Emily Dworkin says they are planning to launch a larger study of the app in the next 5 years. Researchers are also hoping it will yield a stronger version of the app that they can then test even further and eventually get onto the phones of sexual assault survivors. Washington Governor Jay Inslee announced the state just purchased a 3-year supply of abortion pills. The purchase was made through the State Department of Corrections. Governor Inslee also said the University of Washington contributed an additional 10,000 mifepristone pills, bringing the state's total to 40,000 pills.
Washington State will not allow a judge in Texas to deny the right of Washington women to this safe drug. We will not sit idly by. We have to recognize these threats will continue, and our actions will continue to preserve the right of choice in the state of Washington.
The announcement comes as a judge in Texas heard arguments that could force the FDA to rescind their approval of the abortion pill. If that happens, it would make it illegal for providers or pharmacists nationwide to purchase the drug.
Sales of apartment buildings are down 74% this year, according to a report by data firm CoStar Group. That would be the biggest annual sales drop for any quarter since the subprime mortgage crisis in 2009. It's a sign interest rate hikes combined with slowing rent growth and upheaval in the regional banking sector are hurting demand for multifamily buildings.
And it's time to take a look at First Sports. I'm Julian Minenso. Now, another Gonzaga basketball player is leaving the program. According to The Athletic, sophomore center Efton Reed has become the latest Bulldog to enter the transfer portal. Reed transferred to Gonzaga last season after spending his freshman year at LSU. Reed is a former five-star recruit who averaged 2 points and 1 rebound a game off the bench this season. Reed is the third Gonzaga player to transfer in the last week, along with guards Hunter Salas and Dominic Harris. Washington State center Mohamed Gay has declared for the NBA draft. Gay was one of the standout players for the Cougars this season. He was named to the All Pac-12 first team and averaged 14 points and 8 rebounds a game. And coming up in sports, what Gonzaga's roster could look like next season following all these departures. Live in the studio, Julian Minenso, 4 News Now Sports.
Julian, thank you. And coming up on Nightside, how hormone replacement therapy could prevent dementia.
Actor Hugh Jackman says he may have skin cancer again and urges his fans to wear sunscreen.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Diamonds and Dreams is proudly sponsored by Dave Smith Chevrolet in Kellogg, Idaho.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
I feel safer when you're in the building.
Over 10,000 stars.
History making.
5 U.S. presidents.
The funny man.
Yes. And 20 years of explosive, iconic, heartfelt.
You sure about that?
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake. Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Cristexa.
Cristexa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Cristexa quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Cristexa is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Cristexa. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Cristexa is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Cristexa if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Cristexa, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Cristexa may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Cristexa for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
You expect more from local news. 4 News Now delivers.
It's to get you the information you need to plan your day.
Breaking news this morning and breaking news you need to keep your family safe.
On Good Morning Northwest, that's what we mean when we say expect more.
4 News Now is brought to you by Fred's Appliance.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. We are taking another look at our weather. Quiet and calm conditions for us tonight, and because of that, temperatures falling pretty low, already at 25 degrees in the Coeur d'Alene area. Winds very nice and calm. Winds coming out of the southwest at 5 miles an hour in the Spokane area, and we are currently sitting at 32 degrees. Now, temperature is going to fall a few more degrees as we head into the overnight hours. Across the region, most of us falling back into the 20s, anywhere between about 23 to 31 for those of you in the Tri-Cities area. 27 will be the overnight low in Moses Lake. In the downtown Spokane area, 28 is our overnight low. Clearing and cold, and we have said the reason temperature is falling so low tonight is because we don't have that cloud cover that we have had over the past couple of days. As you are waking up on your Wednesday, we're going to be in the upper 20s, lower 30s, depending upon what time you wake up. We're going to be climbing into the upper 40s by the afternoon. That's going to be warmer than where we were this afternoon. And you can see plenty of sunshine for us tomorrow. Nothing for us to be worried about in the way of any kind of showers or graupel, thunderstorms, anything like that that we have been dealing with over the past 2 afternoons, Monday and Tuesday. that's not going to be the case for tomorrow. We'll be up to 49 in Spokane, mostly sunny skies, with those winds coming out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Across the region, quite a few areas making it into the 50s tomorrow. That'll be 52 for those of you in Colville, 49 in Deer Park, and 51 will be the high in the Spokane Valley area. So we take a look at our 48-hour forecast. This is going to show us the clear conditions that we have tomorrow and mostly sunny skies. But as we move into Thursday night, all of that is changing. We've got the second frontal system that is going to be pulling through Thursday night into Friday. This is going to be bringing a lot of rain to the region. It's going to be widespread, heavy, and beneficial rain, looking to linger into this upcoming weekend. Saturday, potentially even Sunday. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit.
Emily, thank you. A new study suggests early treatment with hormone replacement therapy may protect a woman's brain from Alzheimer's disease. Researchers found that women who underwent early or premature menopause or who began hormone replacement therapy more than 5 years after menopause had higher levels of the tau protein in their brains. The proteins, along with plaques from other protein, are hallmark signs of Alzheimer's disease. The disease strikes women more than men, and the Alzheimer's organization says that that's likely because of biological reasons.
The U.S. National Institute on Aging is moving forward with a real-world Alzheimer's disease database. The institute plans to commit $50 million a year starting in fiscal year 2024 for a total of $300 million. They say the aim of creating the database is to transform Alzheimer's disease research.
Actor Hugh Jackman says he may have skin cancer again, and he urges his fans to protect themselves in the sun. In a video posted on his Instagram account, Jackman says he is still waiting for test results. The 54-year-old has been treated for basal cell carcinoma over 6 times. In the new video, Jackman said his skin was damaged 25 years ago and is just coming out now. He urged everyone to wear sunscreen. Basal cell carcinoma is one of the most common cancers in the U.S. Well, the Biden administration is investing in clean and safe drinking water. The Environmental Protection Agency has announced $6.5 billion of funding for drinking water upgrades from the bipartisan infrastructure law. That includes identifying and replacing lead pipes. According to an EPA survey, there are more than 9 million lead service lines across the country. The Biden administration has a goal of 100% lead-free water systems.
Have you ever received a package in the mail where most of the box is filled by packing peanuts and bubble wrap? Now companies like Walmart and Amazon are investing in machines that can make cardboard boxes that will fit what's being shipped. That could cut down on waste from big boxes being used to send out small items. North Spokane corridor construction could soon be back on track. That's next on Nightside.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Spokane's hottest music. Hot 96.9.
Hepatitis C? Don't just treat it. Crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it with Maverick.
Cure it with Maverick. Maverick cures all types of Hep C.
In only 8 weeks.
The virus multiplies daily and can damage the liver over time. Maverick stops Hep C and cures it. If you've had hepatitis B, it may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you've had Hep B, a liver or kidney transplant, other liver problems, HIV, other medical conditions, and all your medicines. Do not take Maverick with atazanavir or rifampin. Report right away yellow skin, stomach pain or swelling, confusion and bleeding or bruising.
Hep C, crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it with Maverick.
Cure it in only 8 weeks. See Hep C gone with Maverick.
Ask your doctor about Maverick. AbbVie could help you save.
Bill's Heating and Air, your locally owned, factory direct and voted #1 HVAC contractor, wants to become your go-to heating and air conditioning company. We offer free estimates and next-day installs. And now, we will beat any and all written estimates from any other licensed contractor. Yeah, you heard right. We will beat any other written estimate. Oh, and did I mention we have a 10-year parts and labor guarantee? Call now for your free estimate. 4 News Now is brought to you by Jacobs Custom Living.
Thanks for staying up with us. North Spokane corridor construction could soon be back on track. Yesterday, the House of Representatives voted to approve Washington's budget for the 2023-25 fiscal biennium. Governor Inslee's original budget proposal pushed the completion date on this project back an extra 6 years. But the new budget includes enough funding to finish this project by 2029.
I think it's an essential project for moving people, cutting down on emissions, reducing travel time, putting people to work with hard hats and helmets, and largely for our economy, for the movement of goods and services throughout our region, our state, and our countries.
Plans for this corridor started in the 1940s, and all these years later, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. The funding of this corridor also impacts other areas of Spokane, including the Children of the Sun Trail and the Centennial Trail. Lawmakers have until April 23rd to get this funding approved.
And moving into our weather, we've got nice conditions for at least the next couple of days. Taking a look at today and tomorrow's weather, temperatures in the overnight hours falling into those upper 20s across the region. Pretty cool for this time of year, but we'll be warming up nicely as we move into your Wednesday. We're up to 42 by 11 a.m. and you can see plenty of sunshine for the first half of your day. It's going to be the same story by Wednesday afternoon as well. No kind of interruptive or impactful weather for us to be worried about. 48-hour forecast is going to show that to you. Very clear conditions for at least the next 24 to 36 hours. It is not until Thursday when we have the second system moving in. You can see that it's really moving across our entire region by about 11 p.m. on Thursday. That is going to be rain to the region. That'll be light snow for the higher elevations. And it's looking like this rain is going to stick around with us through Friday, Saturday, and potentially, yes, even into Easter Sunday. We'll have a better idea as we get closer to it. Taking a look at the temperature trend, though, you can see temps warming into those upper 50s by Saturday and Sunday. That's really the silver lining here. We've been with our temperatures below the seasonal average, and we're going to be warming up quite a bit. We are in the lower 40s today, climbing into the upper 50s by this weekend. Going to be a big shift for us, potentially even into those lower 60s in some areas as these temps warm. Warmest day so far this year was 58 degrees. That was on the 22nd of March. The last time we hit 60 was October 20th of last year, and the last time we hit 70 degrees was October 19th. So it has been quite a while since we've had these warmer temperatures. I know many of us very ready to move into the very spring-like weather. It is spring, not always feeling like it, but we're going to have a shift here definitely over the next couple of weeks, bringing that rain back into the forecast for the next couple of days. I know the big question mark is going to be what Easter Sunday is going to pan out to be. Right now it's looking like about a 50% chance of showers in the morning, but temperatures at least will be in those upper 50s, and we'll be keeping a close eye on that for you guys over the next couple of days.
Emily, thank you. A man in Texas says almost a dozen people have knocked on his door over the last few years, sometimes frantic in the middle of the night, accusing him of stealing their iPhones, AirPods, and other devices.
And when they search for their stolen items using the Find My iPhone app, it's pinging his address. The problem is, he says he hasn't stolen anything. He says Apple has made a serious mistake, which he worries could turn dangerous for his family, even saying his daughter is afraid to sleep sometimes. The last incident happened just a few days ago.
Well, the cops are on their way over here, so you may want to come talk to me before they come here.
Upset and frustrated, this woman threatens to call the police because she believes the person who lives there stole her phone, and she's not the only one.
My brother's phone was lost, and the last ping location was right here. I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense that the phone's saying it's here.
So homeowner Scott Schuster isn't sure why the app is pinging his address, and he's just as upset as the people who are showing up on his doorstep. He's called Apple support, messaged them, and filed a report, but nothing has been resolved.
Good job, Climate!
Grad students and researchers at a Berkeley microbiology lab have trained a squirrel to ring the bell to get a treat. After they saw him begging at the window, they named him Cloyver after a famous microbiologist, Albert Cloyver.
Heard this like incessant ringing noise, and I was like, what is going on? And my coworker was like, oh, we taught the squirrel to ring the bell.
Well, they trained him by ringing the bell themselves whenever he begged, and if he happened to strike the string waving his paws, he got a nut. He even got his own step stool mug.
That sounds like UC Berkeley. That's funny.
Good use of time? Yet to be determined.
Possibly.
Well, the Seattle Mariners only needed 2 players to defeat the Angels tonight. That's coming up next in sports.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Horizon Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Extreme Team.
Writer in Oregon got bucked off and stomped on by a 1,000-pound bull.
Please don't tell my parents. They freak out whenever stuff like this happens.
This has happened before?
She may not walk again, but she would be alive. Do the spinal surgery.
BP is dropping. Every second counts here, people. This is my OR. Heart Center of Chicago, they're interested in Pierce.
Why didn't you tell me about a job offer?
I've already moved across the country for you once.
Are you considering it?
The doctor will see you now. But do they really? Do they see all that you are? At Kaiser Permanente, all of us work together to care for all that is you. Kaiser Permanente.
Built for times like these. Clear thinking, expertise, and smart solutions have sustained us for more than 120 years. Washington Trust Bank has the strength and wisdom needed for times like these. We prepare for the unexpected, and we're just a phone call away. To find a personal banker or learn more about Washington Trust, visit watrust.com/financial partner. Washington Trust Bank, member FDIC.
One day, I will rock that swimsuit.
Your one day is closer than you think. From fresh meals to one-on-one coaching, Jenny Craig is Weight Loss Made Simple.
Your one day starts today.
Here's the latest expansion news from Spokane Tribe Casino. Check out the expanded Caesars Sportsbook, now the largest in the area. With even more room, more betting options than before, and a buddy bar with bar top games. Plus, be on the lookout for the all-new smoke-free gaming area, also coming soon. Play Take or Trade select Saturdays this April for your chance to take a $500 win or trade it for a mystery prize of up to $2,000. Only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
Well, Gonzaga has been hit by the transfer portal once again. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minensone. 3 Gonzaga basketball players have left the program over the last week. Dominic Harris, Hunter Salas, and the latest, sophomore center Efton Reed. Reed transferred to Gonzaga last season after spending his freshman year at LSU. Reed is a former 5-star recruit who averaged 2 points and 1 rebound a game off the bench this season. Reed is the 3rd Gonzaga player to transfer in the last week, along with the 2 I mentioned, Salas and Harris. As it stands right now, Nolan Hickman and Ben Greger, the only returning players who played significant minutes this past season. There are a few players who haven't made a decision for next season. That's Malachi Smith and Anton Watson. Those 2 have the option to return for 1 more year. Forward Julian Strother can return or try his luck in the pros. Strother is a projected first-round NBA draft pick. He has yet to announce his plans for next season. Washington State center Mohamed Gay has declared for the NBA draft. Gay was one of the standout players for the Cougars this season. He was named to the All-Pac-12 first team and averaged 14 points and 8 rebounds a game. Washington State football put up video game numbers in their scrimmage over the weekend. The Cougars had 8 touchdowns and more than 700 yards of offense. So the offense looked good, scored a lot, but there's no reason to worry about the defense just yet either. 9 different players recorded a sack in the scrimmage. Some of Washington State's better defenders didn't even play. Defensive linemen Brennan Jackson and Ron Stone Jr. each sat out to get some extra rest. It's still early, but the players say the defense is coming together.
It's always a learning process. Football is a game that you'll never perfect, even though you want to be perfect. So just taking notes from the scrimmage, just understanding as a linebacker room, we need to be consistent and then set the tone as being the middle, bringing the front, and then the back end all together and make us run. So it's always going to be a learning process, and one of those things you just got to keep attacking. You're always learning something every day.
Washington State's annual Crimson and Gray spring game is scheduled for April 22nd in Pullman. The Spokane Indians took the field for first practice this afternoon. The team is getting ready for their season opener against the Vancouver Canadians on Friday. The team is highlighted by some familiar faces. Former Gonzaga standout Gabriel Hughes headlines the pitching staff. Hughes was the 10th overall pick in last year's MLB draft. Whitworth's Joel Condrey is one of the pitchers in the bullpen as well. Now, many of the players met for the first time this week, but with a number of local guys on the team, it helps make that transition to the area much easier.
I'm explaining the lay of the land, the league, because I've been in this league before, getting to see the different towns, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I have a lot of old teammates that still live here in town, so it's fun to be back and see people.
The Indians will host a fan fest tomorrow night from 5:30 to 7:30 at Avista Stadium. The event is free and you can meet the new members of the team. There will also be some prize giveaways. The Indians open the season Friday on the road against the Vancouver Canadians. Seattle Mariners trying to end a 4-game losing streak, taking on the Los Angeles Angels. Mariners leading by a run in the 4th. Teoscar Hernandez, one of the new additions to Seattle this season, with his first home run as a Mariner. Seattle up 2-0. Hernandez up again, this time in the 5th, and someone's been hitting the weight room. As you can see, Hernandez puts Seattle up 6-0 after that big fly. Same inning, another newbie, A.J. Pollock, got in on the action. Here's Pollock. Crushes this one all the way into the bullpen for another home run. A few innings later, I mean, it was all Mariners, and this time it's Pollock once again. Pollock and Hernandez combined for 9 of the team's 11 runs. They beat the Angels by themselves. Seattle takes care of business and ends the 4-game losing streak. And that'll wrap us up for sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning partners with cities to gather the data they need to reduce homelessness. An interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world, that's the new thing. It isn't a tagline. It is Eastern Washington and you. Apply today at ewu.edu.
Performance. It's what powers the 2023 family of Mazda CUVs. With standard I-Active all-wheel drive and an available turbo engine, helping you take performance further.
With effortless power and the reliability of I-Active all-wheel drive, Mazda CUVs are built for the Pacific Northwest. Take a test drive today at Foothills Mazda or shop now at SpokaneMazda.com.
I'm getting backyard cookout vibes. Inside? Oh, that's the new DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger. Oh! Now you can take the backyard anywhere with honey barbecue sauce and house-made Hidden Valley Ranch. You guys are taking this backyard anywhere thing really seriously. Maybe next time you'll take that DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger to, the actual backyard.
We need a hose.
Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Beautiful conditions tomorrow and Thursday, but then Thursday night we bring back the rain, looking to be a widespread heavy rain event that's going to linger into this weekend. Definitely Saturday. Big question mark right now is how much and what kind of rain we're going to be getting on Sunday. About a 50% chance right now. So I know that a lot of people are going to be holding out hope that we can dry it out for Sunday. We'll have a much better idea as we get closer to it. But the silver lining here is take a look at that warm up that we are going to be having. We haven't been in the upper 50s since the tail end, March 22nd. So it's going to feel very refreshing and nice to get those warmer temps.
Did you guys decorate your homes with Easter stuff? A few people in my neighborhood put bunnies and eggs out on their porch.
Got chocolate eggs.
You have to wait for the Easter Bunny.
Oh, right. That's what I'm doing.